Hi, my name is Nicole. Welcome to my channel, Travel to Money. In this video, I'll explain what to do if your passport is stolen while traveling, and I'll share my personal experience dealing with this in Spain. This will include where you need to go and all the things you'll need in order to get an emergency or a replacement passport as a US citizen. If you are new here, I have created this channel to help you learn about how to travel, adventure, and have fun on the road to financial independence. I have spent the last few years traveling the world. I paid off a house in Spain, plus I have worked smarter and harder to help me move toward financial independence. I believe that the road to financial freedom can and should be fun. I hope that you'll subscribe and join me on this journey, no matter where you're starting from. So, just after renovating my house in Spain, my dad was visiting me for one of my last weeks there, and I took him to Valencia for the day to show him around the beautiful city. When I drive to the city, I usually park on the long road leading up to the Arts and Science Center, and then I walk up the beautiful park that runs through the old riverbed to get to the center of the city. It never disappoints. On this particular day, I made a massive mistake. The street was quiet and I had a pretty big shoulder bag with me that I didn't want to carry. I took my driver's license and one credit card and put them in my pocket. I grabbed the bag, got out of the car, opened the trunk, and put the bag in the trunk. The bag had all my other credit and debit cards, my house keys, my passport, and was also full of other random items. My dad and I spent a beautiful afternoon roaming the Arts and Science Center and exploring Valencia. After spending a few hours, when we returned to the car, the back passenger window had been broken, the access to the trunk was pulled down, and my bag was gone. They left my dad's change of clothes and his phone that was in the front compartment. Obviously, someone had been watching me put the bag in the trunk, which was maybe the creepiest thing about it all. I should start by saying that I knew better than to do that. It would have been better for me to shove the bag under my seat before exiting the car, but sometimes we get lazy with safety and think, it will never happen to me. This is one of the times that my risk-taking nature has failed me. Ugh. I also didn't have the best attitude about what had just happened. I think I stunned my dad a little bit as I went into a fit about the whole thing. But the truth of the matter is, sometimes we just can't change a circumstance like that, and getting upset about it isn't good for anyone. Anyway, I had to first file a report with the Spanish police, then go to the car rental agency to switch cars and pay for the broken window. Thankfully, even though I had almost none of the documents I would usually need when renting a car, they were understanding and swapped it out for me. My time at the police station took a while, but they were helpful in getting a report written up for me. They also told me that more than likely, the thief would only have taken any cash or valuable items, and that they would have probably thrown the bag along with my passport and credit cards into a dumpster. They explained that generally the thieves don't want to get caught with someone else's identification on them. Once everything was resolved with the police and the car rental agency, then I needed to figure out how to get back into my house. You may remember my friend Lee, who did a lot of the renovation for me on the house. Well, thankfully, this friend of mine also had a set of keys to my house. We were able to grab them from him in order to get into the house. He was also super handy in helping me change out the bolt on the gate of my front door. We decided to change this in case the thieves were able to locate my house, since they would have also stolen the keys. We knew that that wasn't likely, but at this point I had learned not to take any chances. So then came the realization that my passport was gone. I started Googling what to do if your passport is stolen in Spain. Unfortunately, I was in a time crunch as I was scheduled to leave just a week later to travel back to the US. In foreign countries, you will have your US embassy and also your consulates, but they handle different things. Valencia, the nearest big city to my town, has a consulate, but this particular consulate did not offer same-day emergency passport issuance. If I had more time on my hands, I would have been able to order my emergency passport from them, and they would have it delivered from the embassy days later. Because I was in a time crunch, I would need to travel to either Madrid, where the embassy is, or the Consulate General in Barcelona in order to get one in hand same day. So my dad and I planned a 2-day road trip to Barcelona, which was 30 minutes closer than Madrid. Now let's get into the details of what you'll need when you arrive at the consulate. First, you need a passport photo, and they recommend getting them in advance. I was able to have mine taken at the consulate in Barcelona. Second, you need identification such as a driver's license or an expired passport. Third, you'll need evidence of your U.S. citizenship, such as your birth certificate or a photocopy of your missing passport. Fourth, you'll need your travel itinerary, such as your plane or train tickets. Fifth, you'll need a police report, if you have one available, and I'm guessing this would be concerning having a passport stolen and not if you simply lost your passport. Sixth, they will have 2 forms that also need to be filled out, but you can do that upon arrival. One is a DS-11 application for a passport, and the other is a DS-64, which is a statement regarding your lost or stolen passport. If you would like to fill these out in advance of going to the consulate, you can visit the government website travel.state.gov for downloadable options. They have one option where you can print blank forms to fill out by hand, but they also have forms available with fields that you can fill in from your computer before printing them. You should also call the consulate in advance to make an appointment and explain the details of your travel situation so that they can best advise you when to come and if any other options are available to you. Now, there is a difference between a replacement passport and an emergency passport. I had to get an emergency passport because my travel dates were so close. I believe the cost was less than $200, but I'm not sure exactly what I paid. The good news is that if you have to get an emergency passport, which only lasts for a limited amount of time, something like 6 months, once you return to the US, you can mail it in to receive a full validity passport that will last you 10 years, and you won't have to pay anything to have it swapped out, although you will need to provide new passport photos again. If you have the time to get a replacement passport instead of an emergency passport because your next travel date may be weeks or months away, then that replacement passport will fully replace your previous passport and you won't have to do anything when you get back to the US. For me, the experience was a bit stressful, but it all worked out in the end, and I got to have a fun little trip with my dad to Barcelona. I'm pretty sure I have a video of him snoring loudly in the car on the way back from Barcelona, but I'll spare you all of that immense joy. If you have learned something here today, please find that like button and subscribe to join me on this adventure. I really hope that the most important thing you take from this is just how important it is to have anything of value hidden in your car before you arrive in a public place. Protect your property and keep your passport in a safe place so that you don't have to waste your time and money going through the process of obtaining an emergency passport. Let me know in the comments if you've ever had your passport stolen. In the next video, I will share about why I decided to sell my home in Florida, even though I was making a killing as a vacation rental. I'll tell you how much profit I made and what I learned about real estate in the process. Remember, if you are wanting to do some traveling and you want to work toward financial independence at the same time, this is the place for you. I can't wait to see where your dreams will take you. We came to find the car on this street in Valencia that heads down there to the Arts and Science Center. The window has been broken into. They grabbed my purse out of the back. They probably watched me put it in there, knew where it was and knew how to take it out. They didn't take anything else out of the car. Even left my dad's phone in here, just took the bag.